Morning. It's Saturday, June 10th. Starting this garden walk in the backyard this time. So there's the beautyberry bush, totally filled out. You can see some of the berries starting to form here. They'll be purple. Potatoes still going strong. The canna lilies are starting now. The tomatoes are still doing quite well, starting to produce. This garden is taken off. The cosmos and dahlias, carrots are all getting tall, starting to blossom. Lots of buds on the dahlias. Sunflowers are coming up in the back. Got zinnias coming up down here. The peanut plants along the front are doing well. Parsley, the first dahlia blossom there, starting to open. More cosmos and sunflowers, and then this are all the carrots. I mean, they're so tall. It's been fun to watch them do their thing. Some more tomatoes. And the sunflowers. There's the hibiscus. And my first real flower on there yesterday. Another cucumber. The first one I had planted here died, so we're trying again. And this garden's starting to become quite spectacular with the snapdragons still doing their things, the blanket flowers all along the front, and the cone flowers are all starting to come into their own here. I have some sunflowers coming along the back. That's where the peas were, and then one carrot. This is looking quite pretty. A little tomato back here. I have tomatoes everywhere because I had a number of them. They were all indeterminate. I wanted a determinate variety, and I went to Lowe's, and all they had was a 9-pack. So I planted, I think, 8 more of those. I gave one away. Bee balm, taller than the fence, doing really beautiful. Butterfly bushes, they aren't looking as good this year, though. They are flowering nicely. Got yarrow and gladiolas. The daylilies are getting ready to open. Got a couple blooms back in the corner of the yard so far. Passion flowers filling out nicely. I'm trying to train it to stay on this side of the fence as much as I can. I've got fishing line going across the fence. I'm trying to train it on. So far it's looking pretty good. Black and blues. More daylilies. We got sunflowers and hollyhock sprung in the back here. And some patience. Wild geraniums still looking beautiful. These annuals, I don't know what they're called, but they're pretty. Mum's doing nicely. I've been pinching that back, so that's looking good. Sunflowers. These sunflowers were planted by the birds. So I'm just letting them do their thing. They typically don't get nearly as big as the ones I plant, but they should put on a nice little show for us. Gladiolas, dianthus, and sun patience. There's some more sunflowers. These are the ones I planted. They're getting nice and tall. They keep flopping over, so I'm tying them up or staking them up. Hopefully they'll get big enough soon to support their own weight. As I said yesterday, we lost 2 of the eggs of the 4. Let's see how many are still in there. There's still 2 eggs in there. Hopefully they'll make it. Mama just flew away when I came by. There's daylilies. Morning glories are starting to twine up the trellis, just like I'd hoped for. And the hollyhocks down here. We've got a couple plants there. The ginger with the sunflowers behind it look nice. And daylilies, again, more hollyhocks. And morning glories don't look nearly as good as the other ones. They're getting chewed up. I'm hoping they're gonna make it. I do have some planted in a container. I can move over here if they don't. Again, more sunflowers. Here's another morning glory I've got climbing up some fishing line to go up along the fence. The gladiolas. All my different annuals. This is a multicolor coneflower, so we'll see what we get out of that. And then the white coneflower back here. Those are both new this year. The lilies have lots of buds on them. And the gladiola starting back there. And the morning glory starting to climb up the fence on this side. The asters looking pretty. And this is my watermelon platform that Tom made for me, and the watermelon's starting to do what I expected it to do. So hopefully it'll like it here. There's that daylily back there that was blooming. I've had 2 or 3 blooms on that one already so far. So that's all looking good. And then my container gardens. Here's all my multitudes of tomatoes, the determinate style tomatoes. These are Celebrity, I believe. And then listening to Bree, she suggested putting crimson clover in here as ground cover, so I did, just to see what happens. I'm trying to grow 4 o'clock flowers in here, fighting with slugs, but got all my ammunition against them and hoping that some of these will make it. The strawberries and nasturtiums are just taking over this planter box. I'm not getting many strawberries right now, but there's a couple blossoms and lots of nasturtium flowers. Onions, of course, I'm harvesting those for Tom for his salad each day. This is a cantaloupe. It's looking pretty good. Nasturtiums. This is a Kajari melon. I can't grow this to save my life. Keep trying, but it's not very happy. Potatoes, rice has been a pain. I've had all sorts of issues with this. First, too much water, then I think birds. I lost a lot of the seeds, but some of them are gonna maybe make it, I'm hoping. There's my poppies back there, side of the house. Looking pretty this morning. The straw bale garden, that's another watermelon here. And this is Better Boy tomatoes that are looking good. And here's another tomato, determinate tomato. Carrots have been really good. I've been enjoying those. And the columbine is growing nicely and crawling over to the fence now. Bleeding Heart got much bigger than I expected it would. This garden has been fun. I've got some potatoes that I'll be taking out pretty soon, but these beets are just doing great. I thinned them out the other day. I'll be eating them as they grow and letting some of them get bigger and eating the smaller ones. And these lettuces have just been fantastic. The slugs finally have left them alone and been harvesting those. They've been yummy and so pretty. Cucumbers are starting to climb. This is the Bait Alpha, and I'm not sure if some of these might be that. And then I've got they're called green apple cucumbers. They're small little round cucumbers. Let's see if I can zoom in and show you. They're just little round ones. A number of places. So there's quite a few. They're starting to climb up the trellis as I had hoped. So that's good. And this I have cream sausage, tomato, and a purple pepper. And the birds keep taking it apart. So I've got it, again, I've got the pinwheels, I've got netting. I had it covered, but they got too big. The tomato got too big to be covered with milk jugs. Just trying to keep the birds off of it so it can get growing. Because it's like the third time it's just got done, chewed down to nothing, and it's finally coming back. And I want it to produce. My purple garden and the morning glories that are starting to vine, I need to move them. Those are the ones I'll move over to the trellis if the other ones don't make it. This is either a black crim or a black beauty. I think it might be a black crim tomato. Such a unique color. There's a couple of those. And there's a hummingbird. Can you see him? Oh, he's gone. And I learned on a YouTube video from a farmer I was watching that if you come out and shake your flowers on the tomatoes, they're self-pollinating, and the bees don't often do it. And as our summers get hotter, on the big tomatoes in particular, not the cherry and the grape so much, but they won't, the pollen gets too thick with the humidity, and they don't self-pollinate anymore. So this is the time of year that we should be doing that. So I come out, shake it, and hopefully I'll get better pollination. Which I didn't know that before, and I never had great pollination on my larger sized tomatoes. So I'm hoping this year it's gonna work better. These look pretty good. I got lots of them here. I don't know what variety. This says black crim, but I don't think it is. I think I got my tags mixed up. Quite a few on this one. And this is a Brandywine. Got flowers. I don't see any tomatoes yet on this one, but they're all growing nicely. Here's my little eggplant. Looking good. I got a couple of them on there. And of course the black and blue, which is where the hummingbirds like to come. The amaryllis is done. Blueberries are just still loaded, but not turning blue yet. Tom and I were sitting on the deck the other day and saw, we've had 2 large birds in here, and then I saw 2 smaller birds in here, and I don't remember what kind it was, but it was like chickadee or that size. And it got in there while we were sitting there. I said, how did it get in? And then we watched it fly right back out, right through this chicken wire. So what we thought we were being smart using chicken wire, it's proven to not be necessarily the best, at least for the small birds. So as you start ripening and turning blue, I'll see if they get in there and eat my blueberries. If so, the doors are made out of netting, so that's much smaller. But the sides and the top, I'll have chicken wire. And apparently, the smaller birds can get through that. It was amazing to watch them do it. It barely slowed down, just right through it. So we're gonna see how that works. I got my tomato. This is the volunteer tomato. The loofah. I don't know if it's not doing much, but it's not dying. It's just hanging there. And then the moonflowers. Doing pretty good. So that's the backyard tour for this morning. Right now I would say this one is the most colorful garden, but each one has its own excitement for me every morning as I do my walkabouts and see what I need to fertilize, where I need to train the sunflowers, where I need to trim things. Sometimes I move things. I took out some violas here and I'll let this blanket flower have a little bit more room, but it's recovering because it has been covered up by the violas until now. So hopefully it'll spread out and be happier. But these bring me very much happiness. Have a wonderful Saturday. See you next week.